Hello, everybody. My name is Tanner Kluver. This is going to be for project group number 6, which is the Firebot, and this will be our weekly report. So as I talked about previously, we decided to go against Jira, and we decided to go with something a little bit more streamlined, which is like a progress chart. Some updates we have for that include continuing work on the coding. We were able to complete prototypes of the fan and chassis, and then we were able to continue work for the final report. Then the microcontroller update. So one notable thing is that with our microcontroller, we were able to attach our sensors. We were working on uploading information to it, but we were unable to read data so far. Sorry, the typo. For the progress report, the ultrasonic sensor will actually have to detect distances between objects and help avoid them. Basically, this is just talking about the ultrasonic sensor that we have attached to the front. This will all make a lot more sense when I show you a picture in the next slide. We have an infrared sensor that's going to be used as well, in addition to the ultrasonic, to help scan for and lock onto a heat source. We have a servo and an arm on a turbine to position it over the heat source, and then that turbine will then blow it out. We decided to go with a DC brushless motor for that turbine. The lithium polymer battery is actually used to power the robot that'll be underneath. We have a converter from 12 volts to 5 volts for the Arduino, since it cannot take 12-volt battery. We have a DC motor controller for the tracks, and we tested the code for moving the infrared sensors and servos. So here's a better picture of what I was all describing in the last slide. So as you can see, up top first here, we have our massive fan. That was a 3D printed structure. And then right back there, you can see the actual fan that'll suck air in and blow out the fire that we put our machine in front of. So that's described right there. Next, as we look around, we have our infrared sensor right here. We have a couple of different servos run right there, one inside this box that was 3D printed, and that 3D printed box right there. This infrared sensor will scan around looking for different heat sources, and then once it finds one, it'll lock onto it and center your vehicle around it. And then lastly, we have our ultrasonic sensor, which is going to be used to avoid different obstacles that we have in front of our vehicle. So that way we don't just like bump into something after we see a fire like a couple of feet away. Again, that was a 3D printed brace right there. Underneath is a view right here, and then we have the DC motors that actually power our tracks. We have another brushless motor right there. We have our 12-volt and 5-volt converter for the Arduino. And then lastly, we have our lithium polymer battery, which is strapped in to a 3D printed case. Here's a video of us blowing out a fan. You might not be able to hear the audio, but you can just look right there for the candle that we're trying to blow out and our fan right there blowing it. Yeah, so it's looking really good so far. We plan on meeting up next month, technically after Thanksgiving break, to continue building the robot and making changes where necessary. Additionally, plan on finishing up the code and integrating all the components together. And then we're going to start all of our testing for the robot, making sure it can go around obstacles, making sure it can set out different types of fire and like find different things. And, basically just building a fully functional robot. So that's pretty much what we had for this week. Yeah, so that's project group number 6. Thank you.